Hello. What you're looking at is a giant's axe. Basically, it's made out of mica schist, be the mound builder's time period. They like to use mica and quartz, pyrite, and copper because it would reflect light in the fires from the campfires. And you notice the white hafting material on that. You take a pretty large, very large wooden shaft hafted to it. And over here, I'll show you the difference. Here's some more of the mound builders time period. Down at the bottom is what they call a spatulate spud. It's not small, it's a normal size spud. Some of them have 9-inch tails on them. They call them pole axes, but it's a spatulate spud with the hole in it. Above it's a scepter. That was carried around by the shaman or the chiefs, or it's made out of mottled quartz, Mississippian time period, and then up to the upper right is a hoe, which has a polished bit on it to show usage. Now the thing about the mound builder stuff, I'm going to be going back and forth with this for you to look at them, is they're ceremonial. So you won't find any wear on them. If you do, they're probably not going to be ceremonial, but the material and the fact that there's no wear on the edges from use tells me they were used in their ceremony as for dancing around the fire. But they like to use this certain material, mica, pyrite, quartz, and copper, in their ceremonial pieces. So let's concentrate on this. Why do I say it's a giant's axe? Well, the size for one thing. If you're going to dance around a fire, you wouldn't want to hold that all night long. It's extremely large. And it'd take a pretty good hefty person, pretty good sized guy to do it, to carry that around and dance around with it. And the material it's made out of. It tells me this is all mounds builder time period. And as they dug the mounds across North America, they would, once in a while, they'd find extremely large skeletons in those mounds. Now, I'm going to tell you at the very beginning, I don't dig mounds. I don't dig burials. I buy my artifacts legally, or I find them legally. I don't dig them. I don't dig graves or anything like that, burial mounds. But what you got to always remember from the very beginning of this series I'm going to make for us is back in the 20s and 30s when they were digging this, archaeologists, they didn't have DNA equipment. They couldn't determine through DNA what these skeletons were. So the standard procedure by all archaeologists in North America, they were listed as large Indians, large Native Americans. There's a history out there, and the proof is in the artifacts, and I'm sure the Smithsonian has their share of the bones. If they ran DNA on them, I wish they would. They probably have. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But I believe, without a doubt, that they're giants. And the reason I have some witnesses. 2 witnesses that I've known through the years, my grandfather and another lady, that actually was there when they were digging them up here in northeastern Oklahoma. And her dad walked her down there to the dig site. And they were there and they were digging the shortest one. And the shortest one was a female. And they were measuring that skeleton that day. And the skeleton was 7 feet 4 inches tall. So, and also in the grave with that female was an infant in the grave. So other people in the local area that have lived here and that families were here back at that time period and passed down stories about it claim that some of them were 10 feet tall as 10 feet. And I've been told that there were 7 bodies. I've also been told that there were 2 places here in Delaware County where they dug up these large skeletons. So anyway, I guess my main purpose of doing this is I want to see other artifacts from other people out there, your opinions, your thoughts on it. I would like to see your artifacts and know that there's others like that, extremely large, larger than normal. What the material's made out of, where they came from. So I'll tell you about these. Over here on your right, the center is a scepter. A scepter was used by the chief or the shaman, and it was carried. It's like, you know, the pharaohs of Egypt had the scepter in the arm. This is a bird effigy scepter. It is authenticated and papered, and it's papered Leflore County. Well, we all know that Leflore County, if you're from Oklahoma, that's the Spiral Mounds culture area. But what a lot of people don't realize is up here, this is Delaware County, northeastern part of Oklahoma. Well, you had two huge mound systems up here, the Reed and Huffaker mounds. And those mound systems were related to the spiral culture. And I have some artifacts that I can show you that'll prove that. That I'll be showing on these series that I'll bring out and show you. I also have another axe this large that I'll show you that came from a very interesting place. And so then on the bottom one here, this is a spatulate spud, and it comes from Georgia. That's where it was, the provenance was on that. And then up in the right hand corner is a hoe, and it came from Delaware County. So, Oklahoma. So there's 3 Oklahoma pieces here and 1 from Georgia. So, anyway, what happened was the main culture in this area, the main center was spiral mounds. But there were these other mounds out there that would go and trade and come to there to worship at the spiral mounds. But each mound system had their own ceremonial mounds, flat top ceremonial mounds, had their own burial mounds. And they had their places they lived all around both sides of the river. Here you had on the south side of the river, you had the Reed Mound System complex. And on the north side of the river, you had the Huffaker Mound System. So I'm going to take you on a journey. It's something I want to do together with you and get your input and info. The first place I'm going to go when I get the chance, I don't know when it'll be, certainly going to try to do it in December, is here in Delaware County. And I call it the Turtle Cave. And about at least 20 to 30 yards away, there's a 2,000, 3,000 pound turtle out of stone that's sitting on top of a bluff looking in a certain direction. You follow the line of sight, it leads you to this cave. And I'm very interested in it because down below the cave is what you call a standing stone with an altar on it. Now, out in Pawnee County, Oklahoma, there's several of these out there, and they have these altars. And I associate it with the mound builders, also with the giants. It seems like you find giant material, you're going to find these altars. So that's something else I'll be showing you, and on our travels, and we'll come up with a story on it. And hopefully all you got those to show. And I just hope that this will be a good series. It'll be fun to do. And we'll learn a lot. I can show you a lot, and hopefully you can show me a lot in different parts of the country. So I'm going to have to sign off now, and I'll be back with you later. Remember that as far as I'm concerned at this point, this is a giant's axe. It's just absolutely huge. Take care.